7:30, call to order. We do have a quorum. Let's please stand and pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All individuals are asked to either silence or turn off cell phones, pages, or other electronic devices that may disrupt the meeting. Approval of the agenda. Approve the agenda as posted in accordance with the open meeting law, and here and place all agenda items on the table for discussion. What's the wish of the council?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Mayor Zilka, second by Councilmember Gushik to approve the agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Approval of the minutes. A copy of the minutes for the special work session meeting of September 18, 2017, and the regular city council meeting of September 18, 2017, and the closed meeting of September 18, 2017 are enclosed. What's the wish of the council?
Move to approve. Second.
Got a motion by Councilmember Knopfler, a second by Councilmember Liljegren to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Approval of the bills, checks number 97222 through 97295, totaling $513,105.64. What's the wish of the council?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Mayor Zilka, second by Councilmember Lundberg. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Awards, donations, presentations, proclamations. Donation, golfers organized for Little Falls. Jim?
So we're all on either the extravaganza or the golf course golfers organized for Little Falls. I'm Tom Hogarth. This is Dee Hanowski, Pat West, our founder Al Bauman, Jim Weiss, and Richard Colshaw, Dick Colshaw. And we want to give you guys our check of $7,000 for 1/5 of our commitment towards the equipment purchase that we made.
Adam, we also have $500 for community service for the golf program that they put on during the summer. So we have a check for some $7,500.
We'll get it.
You want to grab? You can grab it, or Craig? Okay.
Thank you very much. Yep. I'll bring it
Do you
over.
want to do a photo with them? I got a picture. Okay, great.
Mayor like to join for a photo op?
Sure, why not? Before I resign.
We don't have a footage.
Where are you going, Tom? Hi.
Thanks, Mayor.
Can you get all of us in here?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Stick code. Stick code.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, yes.
Thanks, Mayor. Thanks, Ollie. Thank you very much.
They cleaned out that area right there.
On the consent agenda, Airport Commission minutes, August 2017 receive. Application for display of fireworks permit, Dean Schmidt, Little Falls Lions Club at Lions Park, approved. Building Department report, August 2017 receive. Deferral of special assessment to 2017-C, Public Improvement 376, approved. Park Rec and Tree Board minutes, September 2017 receive. Planning Commission minute, July 2017 receive. Wellhead Protection Plan update, receive. What's the wish of the council on the consent?
Mr. President, I move we receive and approve the items from the consent agenda.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilmember Hanson, second by Alderman Hercock to approve the consent. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Public hearings and lettings, we got a letting. Fall leaf and brush collection, Bob Lemire Roll-Off Refuge and Recycling. Award, Lori?
Yes, the city requested quotes to do the annual fall leaf and brush collection. The only one that we received was from Bob Lemire Roll-Offs Refuse and Recycling at a cost of $3,830. We're asking the council to approve that, and the money would come out of our SCORE funds.
What's the wish of the council?
Move to approve.
Second. I got a motion by Councilmember Knopfler, a second by Councilmember Gushik to award the bid to Bob Lemire Roll-Off Refuge for $3,830. Any discussion?
The only other comment I'd make, just for the public's purpose, is that the collection will be held Saturday, October 28th, rain or shine.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Ordinance number 7 series, amend City Chapter Code 3, Section 3.18, hours and days of sale, introduced on 9/18. Adopt. What is the wish of the council?
Mr. President, I move to adopt.
Second.
I got a motion by Councilmember Lundberg, second by Councilmember Hanson to amend Code Chapter 3, Section 318. A discussion? Hearing none, ordinance, call a roll, please.
Hercock?
Yes.
Gushik?
No.
Lundberg?
Yes.
Zilka?
Yes.
Hanfler?
No.
Liljegren?
Yes.
Knopfler?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Carries.
Stop sign petition, 8th Avenue Southwest and Lilac Lane. Deny. Greg?
At our last meeting, we received a petition to install a stop sign at 8th Avenue Southwest and Lilac Lane. Lilac Lane to the north is also known as 9th Street Southwest. After reviewing the city's stop sign policy, it did not meet the warrants laid out in that policy to require a stop sign. So tonight, we are recommending that petition be denied based on the policy that we have at hand.
What's the wish of the council? Motion for discussion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilmember Hanson, second by Mayor Zilka to deny the stop sign petition? Correct? Any discussion?
Where do they want the signs exactly? Because there's already a yield sign.
There's yield signs on 9th and Lilac. They would like stop signs on the avenue, on 8th Avenue side of it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion?
So just for clarification, this is a motion to deny it?
Correct.
Okay. So.
Yes means no.
No.
Correct.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. New business, position description update, police records technician. Chief?
With the recent retirement of one of my staff members, the city administrator and I took the opportunity to kind of reevaluate the responsibilities or the requirements that we need for day-to-day operations at the office. And one of those was to modify how we do dispatch, and that was worked out with the sheriff's office and my office over a period of time. And basically, the dispatch responsibilities, the vast majority of those responsibilities have now been moved to the sheriff's office. We do handle lobby contact when the public comes in, and we do, take that initial contact, but then we refer it to the sheriff's office, and they do the actual dispatching for those calls now. And that has worked very well. I've worked closely with the sheriff and with the emergency manager, and they have not seen a real problem with how we've changed, how we've done that. It was a little hard initially just to kind of get the business practice worked out, but it seems to be working very well. So the police technician, let me see what the official title of it here. Police record technician position is relatively unchanged, with the exception that we removed a lot of the dispatch responsibility from that position. So.
Mr. President?
Yep.
And even with that, there is still some level of dispatch that's required within the position. There are going to be the walk-ins, the clientele that are there, so they will have that skill set. And then with the second position that we're discussing tonight, there's still some institutional knowledge there with Rhonda. So she does have that other position that we would be opening up. So the skills are there, so it's a good timing to kind of get some internal training to help. We could basically get a brand new person or somebody that might not need a lot of skill or experience beforehand, because we'd have the ability to do the training on site. So it's a good opportunity now for that, and to be able to kind of guide in the new era of police records with a lot of the data responsibilities that we have and the new technologies that are out there. So I think it's going to work out pretty well.
What is the wish of the council?
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Got a motion by Mayor Zilka, second by Councilmember Liljegren to approve. Any discussion?
Mr. President, I noticed several grammatical errors in here and a couple of redundancies. I don't know if you want me to list them or if you just want me to show them to you later.
If you note them, we can have them corrected.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Pay grade and points, police administrative specialist and police records technician positions approved. John?
Also, with the new positions, we did go through our safe job evaluation system to establish the points for those positions. The records tech really remains unchanged despite the reduction in the duties, with some of the added things for new technologies and data practices. It kind of built that position back up. So what was lost in dispatch was made back up in other responsibilities. So that position really stayed at the same point level and the same grade level. The administrative specialist position is an increase to a records technician and is recommended to have 230 points and at a pay grade 5. There's a number of added responsibilities that we're putting on this position, and much more independent job flow for that position. So,
What's the wish of the council?
I make a motion to approve?
Second.
Got a motion by Mayor Zilka, second by Alderman Hercock to approve and authorize. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Policy 69, Code of Conduct and Orders, City Council meetings. John?
This was handed out at the last meeting in our work session for discussion. A lot of this was drafted in part with our attorneys that have been working on some of the lawsuits that we've had, and in light of the change in the Supreme Court ruling to eliminate the section on the use of disorderly conduct as an enforcement tool for public meetings, we wanted to ensure that we are establishing a formal policy on rules and conduct during our public meetings. We do have a section of our policy did have an entire section devoted to city council meetings, much more in just the standard practice of here's how you make a motion, here's what a resolution, here's an ordinance, how do we preside. It did little to discuss if there's a breach in the standard conduct that's happening during a meeting, how are we going to respond, or what are we going to anticipate as accepted standard conduct for those meetings. So policy number 69 is an amendment to include it to specify rules and actions that are going to take place during a city council meeting. 69A is for more of a general policy for all public meetings that are going to take place that potentially could be outside of the council chambers. So their conference room that we utilize at City Hall for public meetings. We do have meetings at the airport, the cable TV board, and other locations. So there are other circumstances where we can't specify the exact characteristics of the room or how we're going to operate. So we just tried to be more general in that policy.
What's the wish of the council on policy 69?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Mayor Zilka, second by Councilmember Hanson to approve policy 69. Any discussion?
Mr. President,
Yep.
if I could ask John or maybe Tony could answer this. Now, once again, from this lawsuit that the Supreme Court just ruled on, that had to do with the vagueness of the law, correct? More so than the fact that...
It's too broad.
Yeah, it was too broad.
Yeah, it was their definition was very much focused on the broadness of the application for use of disorderly conduct during a public meeting. That could lend itself to a lot of situations, even ones that aren't in the typical protocols of standard city council meeting like we have tonight on the first and third Mondays of the month. There's opportunities where they interpreted that a public meeting could take place on the street at some point, and that there was the open opportunity for those involved in the public meeting presiding to utilize disorderly conduct. And they really felt that opened a door for potential unconstitutional actions, not saying that the actions that took place in our circumstance were unconstitutional. They took the matter of the law and looked at it directly as the application of law, not the application that we had during that meeting. So it was really very much on the broadness of a public meeting. These are policies where, yes, a meeting has been formally announced. It's gone through the protocols that we utilize to establish when public meetings are going to be held, notice that we give before those meetings, and they need to be called to order, and that's when those public meetings can take action and that code of conduct can be implemented. With that, it is an expectation of conduct. There is no criminal penalties that are applied to this that we are authorizing unless situations get severely out of hand and criminal actions actually took place. This is just to keep order so that we can conduct a meeting and do the public good during those times.
And you did also, I believe, cite a quote by an attorney for the ACLU stating that this does not mean that we cannot hold our meetings and not control them, but at least be able to have them without being constantly interrupted or any other.
To paraphrase that their statements, it was this isn't free reign to go and interrupt every meeting and not let the city councils and park board commissions and things do their business that they typically want to do. That it's really to ensure that there's proper measures in place to ensure that freedom of speech is protected. So,
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion?
Yes, photos, videos, all that stuff, photography is allowed, but not at the expense of everyone else who may be here for a public meeting, other people in the audience. So it's still allowed, but it has to be done in a way that it doesn't interfere with the sight or the ability of someone else to see what's going on here. Just like signage, we can't allow huge signs to block the whole area because then no one can see over here. And that's probably one of the reasons you put the smaller signs and not to have stakes, because sticks in that can actually poke somebody or they could do some harm and stuff. So I just want to be clear on that. It's not to we're not putting these things there to take away someone's rights, but we have to look at the safety and everyone else to view.
Yeah, correct. It's a balance of, respecting the rights of others to express their opinions and do so during a public meeting, but also to ensure that order is maintained and that we can conduct business in a reasonable fashion. It's establishing what are reasonable expectations for those actions if they choose to bring signs to the meeting or choose to film the meetings or record the meetings in such a way so that it is done in an orderly fashion and that the business can go on. It isn't an expectation that you can't do this, you can't do that. It's if you choose to do this, please do so in a reasonable fashion that respects the attendance of others in the meeting and the council to do their business.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Mr. President, again, as I was reading through it, I noticed several grammatical and punctuation errors that should be corrected before it's actually published. I don't know if you want those now or if you want me to give those to you.
Please deliver those to us and we will correct those and ensure that if there is anything that changes in those punctuations or grammar, that if it changes the intent in a material way, we will bring it back to the council.
It won't change the intent, it's just,
I anticipate that, but
yeah. It's always good to have another set of eyes to make sure there aren't any mistakes.
Any other discussion?
Earlier, Teresa mentioned something about the interior signs were in conflict with our sign ordinance, that we would need to amend that. Is there a basis for that?
We have in our sign ordinance dictates regarding public property, that you can't have signs on public property unless it fits certain criteria and unless the public approves of it. And to take an interior signage and say, I can put a sign anywhere in any building is just not correct. I can't go put a sign in your house because sign ordinance says interior signs. So we get to dictate the interior of our building. So. No. And the sign ordinance, again, specifically talks about public property, that if you're going to have a sign within the public spectrum, you need to have permission of the public body. So the policy kind of sets out what's permissive within our public property and what isn't.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Policy 69A, Code of Conduct and Order. Authority, boards, bureaus, commissions, and committees. What's the wish of the council on this one?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilmember Liljegren, second by Alderman Hercock to approve Policy 69A. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Resolution 2017-60, authorize EDA to levy. Lori?
Yes, as the council knows, we entered into agreement with Wabash to do some funding for them in their new project. Under the state statute, the city then is required to pass a resolution that authorizes the EDA to levy for that amount that we're paying or that we're providing to Wabash. We do levy already, and this is not an increase to that levy. It's just allocating a portion of that levy to this project.
What's the wish of the council on Resolution 2017-60?
Mr. President, I move to adopt Resolution 2017-60.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilmember Lundberg, second by Councilmember Knopfler to approve Resolution 2017-60. Any discussion? Hearing none, resolution, call the roll, please.
Gushik?
Yes.
Lundberg?
Yes.
Zilka?
Yes.
Hanfler?
Yes.
Liljegren?
Yes.
Knopfler?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Hercock?
Yes.
Carries.
Stormwater ponding easement, Zion Lutheran Church. Greg?
As you know, Zion Lutheran is looking at putting a addition onto their church. As part of our city code, we do require the church to manage the stormwater that runs off of that site once the church the addition is constructed. So what they're looking at doing is building a pond just to the north of the facility there. They do own that property, but to ensure that it is maintained and stays as a pond to manage the stormwater, we're looking to acquire a stormwater easement over that part of land so that it stays as a stormwater pond. So tonight, we're looking for approval to execute the easement with the Zion Lutheran Church for that stormwater pond.
What's the wish of the council?
I'm making a motion to approve.
Second?
Got a motion by Councilmember Gushek, second by Councilmember Lundberg to accept and approve. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Submittal of grant, Federal Emergency Management Agency, Fire Personal Protection Equipment. Authorize and approve. Do you want to take that one, John? since
Yeah,
we're
I'll
in
take
here?
that. So the fire department has submitted a grant to FEMA for personal protection equipment, PPEs. This covers the boots, pants, coats, gloves, hoods, helmets. These are all the things that are going to keep firefighters safe during during their duties. As you can see in the memo, the equipment is over 10 years old. This has been in discussion with the fire chief and I. It is something that we had planned and budgeted for. Hopefully, with the grant allocation, it would certainly help offset a lot of our costs. So, recommended for approval.
What's the wish of the council?
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion by Alderman Hercock, second by Councilmember Knopfler to approve and authorize. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Submittal of grant, Minnesota Department of Public Health, Source Water Protection.
This is another grant that we're looking at submitting to the Minnesota Department of Health. This is a competitive grant, so it goes into a pool, and then the Department of Health looks at it, scores each of the applications, and then decides how to distribute the funds that they have available. This application that we're looking at submitting for is up at our lagoons up on the north end over here from the water plant. Where the lime goes, it's settled out, and then there's clear water that is left over that we currently discharge into a small stream which comes down to the Mississippi River. As part of the wellhead protection, we'd like to take that water and irrigate the surrounding lagoons so that it doesn't have to go down in through the Mississippi River. The project cost is estimated at $4,000. It's a 50-50 split with the city's share coming out of the water operating budget. But tonight we're asking for approval to submit that grant to see if we can gain some grant funds to do the project.
What's the wish of the council?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Alderman Hercock, second by Councilmember Hansen to approve and authorize. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Any reports? Announcements? We are adjourned.